Huge show on today's DNVR Broncos podcast. There's a new unexpected injury that popped up for the Broncos. We're going to break that down, plus where all of the other Broncos injuries stand, and talk about how important those are. Are those the key to beating the Colts? We're going to dive into the Colts here. A couple of clips from Sean Payton talking about the Colts and the Broncos, and we're making our Broncos-Colts predictions. Big show starting now. Days away from Broncos Colts. We are here to break down the latest, and unfortunately we do have some latest news in the injury front. We also have some good news on the injury front, though. We're going to break it all down, break down the Colts. Huge show on today's podcast, and we are live from the Toyota Lounge, driven by your local Front Range Toyota stores. We are presented by Bet365. Use that code DNVR365. Place a $5 bet after depositing $10. After using the code DNVR365, and you're going to get 300 Benjamins. That's $300 in bonus bets.
3 Benjamins.
What'd I say?
300.
Oh, yeah, no, 3 Benjamins. Yep. I'm sorry.
300
I don't even know what 300
Washingtons?
Benjamins is. 300 Washingtons.
Yeah. Who was
I did mean
probably
3,
better.
I meant 3 Benjamins.
Yeah. How did George Washington get stuck with the $1 bill? You'd think he'd be like $100 bill.
He's the first, yeah.
I guess there are more of them out there.
Yeah.
Not to me. I have more hundreds and ones personally, but
yeah,
for others.
Before I forget, Henry, I just got to give you and Dre big kudos for getting this helmet. This is so sick. In this shot, right in front of me, right there, that old school D. That might be the best color combo, not in sports, but just
in the world.
In the world, that blue with that orange, and of course it's just thrown on a D is amazing. And speaking of, we got Broncos tube in the Toyota chat with that exact color combo.
Potential
with the D.
New diehard Broncos tube. No, you're thinking supporters club. We still gotta get him in the damn supporters club. Oh, new supporters club member.
Let's go, Ryan. We appreciate you. We got a lot of people in the Toyota chat right now. I love it. And Henry, we're gonna talk about some injuries that the Broncos have today. And when we break this down, I want people in the Toyota chat and people that are listening later below to comment of the 3 guys we're really going to talk about today. Who is the most important for Sunday's game against the Colts? Not who do you want for the whole season, but if you could have one of these guys for Sunday's game against the Colts, Evan Engram, Dre Greenlaw, and or Jonathan Franklin, who is the most important?
Jonathan Franklin.
Yes, John Franklin Myers.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow, it's tough morning for me today. Let me know who you would choose among those 3. And Henry, let's just dive into why we're talking about these 3 guys. So we obviously know Dre Greenlaw didn't practice. Okay, let's take a step back. Last week, the Broncos had a bonus practice on Monday. He did practice then. Broncos had an off day Tuesday. Then he did not practice on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, ruled out of the game on Sunday. Monday, this coming Monday, this past Monday.
There we go.
Really tough with words today. This past Monday.
Okay.
Sean Payton tells us that he expects Dre Greenlaw to be back sooner rather than later. And by the way, he went out of his way to say that. He was talking about Talanoa Hufanga, and then he said, oh, by the way, Dre Greenlaw going to be back sooner rather than later, and then just continue. So we're like, at least in my head, I'm like, oh, maybe that's as soon as Wednesday. I didn't get my hopes up, though, but it's like maybe he'll be back, at least on the practice field this week, and maybe he won't be back on Sunday, but he'll be back the following week. Well, yesterday we were out of practice. We're going to be out of practice later today. And Henry, Dre Greenlaw was not practicing. Same thing, still on the side field. I would expect that if he wasn't good enough to practice yesterday, is he really going to be fine to practice today? I wouldn't expect so. So that's the latest where with Dre Greenlaw stands.
Yeah. And should say there are a lot of times where you see the non-participant Wednesday, limited participant Thursday, full participant Friday, probable on the depth chart or probably on the injury report. And you're like, okay, he did play. But it's rare you see the like didn't play, limited or full participant Friday, and then play. So I think that if he isn't on the field today, it's probably a really bad sign for Sunday.
Yep, I completely agree. So that's where things stand with Dre Greenlaw. We did see the Broncos, however, though, play well, extremely well. The number one defense in the NFL this past weekend, only giving up 133 yards with his backup in Justin Sternad, and Justin deserves all the flowers for the performance he had. I mean, he is a starter in a lot of teams in the NFL. He came in, has 5 tackles, has a sack, has a couple tackles for a loss, has a quarterback hit. He was just all over the place and played really, really well. So that's hopeful for if you don't have Dre Greenlaw this week.
I really hope that, well, first of all, I really hope that Dre Greenlaw plays and is awesome. In a world in which Dre doesn't play this week, I really hope that I could come on the podcast on Monday and say, when he comes back, maybe Justin Sternad's a starter. Like, Justin Sternad's just that good.
Wow.
And he isn't there yet. And obviously one game wouldn't be enough anyway. But if he puts together another like really great game, he'd have to probably have like a pick or 2 sacks or something. It would take multiple weeks. I don't even think 2 weeks we can get to that point. But that would be a fun take to be able to have because he's playing so well.
It would be. It would be a fun take to have, but it's a crazy.
It would take a lot.
It's a crazy.
In the same way, I'd love to be able to say like, Bo Nix should be MVP. It's like, it's maybe he gets super hot.
That one's more likely, even after
that's
the
more
game
likely?
he just had. That's more likely, just because. And this has nothing to do with Justin. I just said how great he played, and I think he's a starter in most teams. But Dre Greenlaw, man,
he's a monster.
He can't be benched if he's healthy.
Yeah, right.
Let me know what you guys think of Henry's take.
It's not my take. It's not my take.
Okay.
It's a take that I hope that I can have.
Yeah,
because I want Justin to be so good.
Yes.
That I just have to say, similar to when McGlinchey went down last year and Palcho came in and Palcho was awesome.
Yeah.
We're like, wow.
And there was a conversation a little bit.
And then Palcho got hurt, so it didn't matter. But, I really like Justin.
You want the really bad news or the really good news next?
Bad news.
The bad news.
No,
okay.
good news. Good news.
We're going to split these up. So we're going to go good news right here. Evan Engram did practice yesterday on a limited basis, was running around out there, then officially on the injury report, listed as limited. Henry, this one shocks me because during the game, not only did he was questionable with the calf injury and then didn't play the rest of the game, but he was going in and out of the tent. Like after a series, I saw him go in the medical tent. Then he was on the sideline. Then he went in the medical tent. Then he went on the field. Then he went back in the medical tent. Then that's when he was ruled out for the rest of the game. And for me, I was just like, oh no, like something tweaked. He tried it, realized that it was bad enough where he couldn't play anymore. And man, I personally in my head I was kind of already figuring IR, just like 4 weeks, have him be out. Then, because again, this Broncos team, as Sean said, competing for Super Bowl. So you don't have to force your guys in week 2, 3, 4. You need them for week 14, 15, 16, 17, hopefully week 21 as well. And so I thought there was no chance he was going to play this week for sure. To see him out there, I'm not saying he's a guarantee going to play this Sunday, but it really shows that, okay, it's not the calf strain grade 2 that Malcolm Roach got that put him on IR in last week's practice. So it made me very encouraged just for, okay, he might not be there this weekend. He might, but he's probably not going to miss multiple weeks.
Yeah, no, it's a good sign. And like you said, you need him for the end of the year. And it goes into how the Broncos built this team. You know, they had a really good team last year, kind of out of nowhere. It was a super cheap team on top of that. So they're able to bring basically the entire team back, spent their money on 4 veterans who can, hopefully really raise the ceiling. And you got them at a slight discount because every single one of them has an extensive injury history. And so the fact that, Greenlaw's dealing with stuff, not really a surprise, but you hope you get 10 good games out of him this year. Engram, you probably have a little bit higher hopes than that. You definitely have a little bit higher hopes than that. But if he misses week 2, even if he misses week 3, it is what it is. He'll give you some big plays at big times, and he'll create opportunities for other guys. Although it's not necessarily a position where you need the opportunities.
It's very true. In the Toyota chat, Broncos Tube says Engram must have got Benny's PT hookup. I love that optimism.
Big day for Broncos Tube. A lot of Broncos tube talk.
Yeah, a lot of Broncos tube talk in the first 10 minutes of this show. Very impressive. And shout out to everyone in the Supporters Club. If you want to support us, it's a really easy way to do it. There's 2 different levels. The MVP, which is $5 a month, or I'm sorry, and then the Hall of Fame, which is $15 a month. That money supports us, and we really appreciate it, especially if you just watch this. There's also some people that are diehards on the website, but if you just watch us on YouTube, we really appreciate that.
Yeah. What emoji should we be sending? I'm seeing there's the LFB, of course.
Yep.
We did that yesterday.
Yep.
Not many of you jumped in. The W, there's the DNVR Broncos helmet. There's also the pain on injury day. Is it pain?
Well, this next one's probably going to be painful.
Okay.
Do we want people dropping pain?
Oh, I already did.
Yeah, follow along with Henry, unfortunately, for this next one, because that was the good news with Evan Engram. The painful news for the Broncos, Henry.
Yep.
This came out of nowhere for me. Maybe you had some additional insight. But yesterday, John Franklin-Meyer was not on the practice field at all, not spotted at all. It comes out after practice that he has a knee injury and did not participate. No. Not
good.
Pain.
Yeah. This one, I mean, it's easy for your mind to go to a really dark place when you hear knee injury, didn't see him. Strange that he played the whole game. Never really heard anything about it.
Yeah.
Obviously, hope that it's something minor. It also hurts that Malcolm Roach is already on the injured reserve, and so you're digging pretty deep. Luckily, this is such a deep team. If JFM can't go, knock on wood when we say things like that, it would probably mean Savion Jones gets to make his NFL debut this week, which, it's a silver lining, but we're not really in the silver lining game. We're in the sunshine game, right? Silver lining, clouds,
sunshine.
No, is that
silver lining? Would be we're just like going right through.
Yeah, we don't want the lining. We want the middle.
Yeah.
So
taking care of business game.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully JFM can go. He's a really important part of the defense, especially with Malcolm already gone. And Jordan Jackson and Inui Uzurike played really good football. Like I'm really high on those guys. To have those as your even current 4th and 5th rotational players, awesome. But you really liked him as 5th and 6th. Bumping up to 3rd and 4th, it's just a different conversation.
You're 100% right. You hit it right on the head. JFM is a great starter in the NFL. He's great for the Broncos defense. And then your depth is already hurt with Malcolm Roach. And then just to pour salt on the injury right now is I think you could easily make an argument that 3 of the next 4 weeks, and again, we don't know the extent to this injury.
Right.
We do know Malcolm Roach is out at least the next 3 games. He had to be out 4 games, and he missed last week. But 3 of the next 4 games for the Broncos, I think you can make an argument that it's the 3 best run offenses that the Broncos defense is facing. Or at least 3 teams that want to commit to the run the most. You could at least say that because you got Jonathan Taylor.
18 carries for 71.
Yep. Don't forget about Daniel Jones being able to run the ball. He hit 21 miles an hour last week.
He's a fast guy.
RJ Harvey.
I mean, it's those long legs.
Yeah, it is.
You get out there going.
Because RJ Harvey hit 20.43, and that was the second fastest from a running back from the Broncos since the start of last season. Daniel Jones was faster than that, so we can't sleep on Daniel Jones. Then the next week you play the Chargers. That's all Harbaugh wants to do is run the ball. That's why they signed like 15 running backs in free agency and even put a tag on J.K. Dobbins to try to make it harder for the Broncos
Somehow
to
those
sign
15
him.
running backs only have 29 eyes.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And then the next week, that's the one that doesn't really get included in here. The Bengals want to throw the ball.
Chase Brown looked good, though. I mean, early on in that game, like you obviously can't buy it. I'm not going in that game saying key is stop the run.
Right.
But I mean, what were the numbers? 21 for 43. Never mind. Yeah. It was. He slowed down there.
21,
he slowed down there a bit.
There's a little bit of a commitment there, but and then the week after you play Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, and the Philadelphia Eagles. So that just I just really don't like where all of this is right now.
On the RJ Harvey thing, this is off topic.
Yeah,
I thought he might have a tick more speed. Just watching him at UCF, knowing the 40 time, like I thought.
Then 20.43 miles an hour.
Yeah, and because it showed up obviously on that one run where it was who was behind him. I can't remember what position.
Yeah,
but that's one where in my head in the offseason, I thought he got away.
Yeah. No, that's very fair.
Again, it's not a big deal, but it's one of those little things I think we learned this week.
No, that's fair. I expected him to be gone too.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be, a 70-yard touchdown or something. I think what happened there, what slowed him down is he had the ball in the wrong hand. I don't want to say the wrong hand. It wasn't like something he did, but he hadn't transitioned it over yet. So if you see him, he uses both arms to grab onto it because he was afraid of the strip. And I think that's what some people have said slowed him down.
Okay.
Let's hope that's the case because I do think that.
Yeah.
I would have thought that would have been a touchdown.
I thought that he was gone there.
It's a very good point.
What was
to
the
bring
40
up.
time? Was he 4.39?
No idea.
Okay, I can check.
40s are stupid, in my opinion.
Well, apparently that's what we just found out. Yes. 4.40.
4.40. Oh, you were
maybe
0.01 seconds off.
If I had 4.39 in my mind, though, and then
you think
like
that's
that might be the difference. It was close.
0.01?
Yes. It was close.
That you were close. Okay, so Henry, let's put a bow on this conversation.
Yes.
And I want to ask
LFB's
you.
in the chat. Bo's in the chat.
Yeah, throw some bows in the chat. Bows in the chat. Doesn't that sound like a song?
Oh, bees in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah. It's called Bees in the Trap.
Yeah,
I did
it
not
was.
know that. Bows in the
anymore.
chat. Bows in the chat.
All right.
Yeah, here doesn't like that.
No, he really
so
hates
throw the bows in the chat right there. And I want to know from you, Henry, and I also want to know from the Toyota chat, if you get to pick one of these guys that absolutely plays on Sunday, who's the most impactful to have and to not have? And I want to get to that conversation. Let us know in the Toyota chat. Let us know below. And let's also guess who we think is going to play in this game. All three of them, only one of them, two of them. We'll get to that after I give a shout out to our friends over at Mack Weldon, where I have my new travel attire.
Oh,
and
yes.
it's thanks to Mack Weldon. The way I do these trips sometimes going to Broncos games is I leave at like 3 a.m. on Sunday morning. I get there for the game. Then I leave after the game at like 11 p.m. I have to be wearing something comfortable. And I have to be wearing something that also looks good. And that is what I found over at Mack Weldon, is that perfect combination of extremely comfortable and also looking really good, where I can literally be in these clothes for like 20 hours. I absolutely love Mack Weldon. Looks sharp, feels sharp, and I love it. And if you want to get Mack Weldon, they're going to give you 25% off your first order of $125 or more using that promo code DNVR over at MackWeldon.com. That's MackWeldon.com, and use the promo code DNVR. Get breathable clothes that you can feel comfortable in all the time.
And shout out to Bet365, Thursday Night Football tonight, which means that you can make your Thursday Night Football, you can take advantage of their Thursday Night touchdown offer. You place a qualifying parlay bet, total $20 or more, and you get bonus bets for every touchdown. The terms and conditions apply, of course, but that's one of the really cool things I'm going to be taking advantage of. I'm halfway through watching the Packers game against the Lions. That's what I had on this morning while I was like doing stuff around the house, and I don't think I'm going to have time to get through that and the Commanders and do my job before the game starts, unfortunately. But I'm leaning toward the over, and I think I'm going to live bet one team to win. Tempted to take the 3.5 points for the but I think I might just wait. Breaking news from Bet365. New customers can now get $300 in bonus bets when you bet $5 win or lose. Sign up. Use the code DNVR365, deposit $10, place about $5, and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or somebody who has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply.
Henry, you can't be saying breaking news around me. My heart rate just went up.
Right.
Probably like 30 beats.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, what's happening here?
Blame them.
Especially with these injury news around us that we're waiting on more information, which we will be giving you more information later today, tomorrow. Make sure you're following us on social channels, DNVR_Broncos on Twitter, or on Instagram. You can go to DNVR Sports. Of course, follow Henry as well, myself as well. And shout out to everyone that's tuning in. We really appreciate the support. Hit us with a thumbs up. Broncos Tube says he dropped a bow in there and said he's not a member of the supporters club yet, but will join. If you aren't a member of the supporters club and you can't join, just hit us with a thumbs up. That really helps us as well. We appreciate everyone. And shout out to Big Brothers Big Sisters. September is Big Brothers Big Sisters month, and we want to encourage you to become a big for a little. It's a way to have a tremendous impact on someone's life. We've got the link down below. If you click that, it'll take you right to the spot to become a big brother or a big sister for someone in the community. It's a really, really cool thing that they've been doing for a very long time, and you have a direct impact on someone's life to make it better. So shout out to Big Brothers, Big Sisters. Shout out to everyone that will become a big brother, big sister, or that is one right now. We appreciate all of you. Okay, Henry, I posed the question. What is, or who is the most important for Sunday's game among these three guys we talked about?
I'm torn between two.
Okay. Are they both on one side of the ball?
They are not.
Oh, splitting the ball.
I think I might go JFM. I think I might.
It's a good choice.
I'm tempted. Okay, so obviously with him, the Colts want to run the ball. I don't know. I didn't think they looked particularly good at running the ball last week. I think part of that is the resources the Dolphins put out there, but you know what they're capable of. We've seen it in Denver before even. And even if it isn't a great run defense or rush attack, having a guy who's good at stopping it means that you can still allocate fewer resources. You can focus elsewhere. I think in the passing game, the key to the Broncos pass rush is sending 5, knowing that you're getting basically probably one-on-ones across the board. Maybe there's a chip somewhere, but somebody's going to win those one-on-ones. And JFM is an important part of that. Like Benito might win his one-on-one. Cooper might win his. Allen might win his. JFM might win his. And when you take one of those guys out, it's nothing against any Uzurike, Jordan Jackson. It's just that the rate at which he wins those is different. I think that's why I went there. Evan Engram, obviously, could be huge for the offense. What got me there is that he wasn't super involved week 1. No, he's rotating in and out, and I think that was a tiebreaker. Yeah.
Crazy.
But I mean, that's a joker. He's a weapon. Yeah. And sometimes you want to just have your tight end be a guy who you trust to make a big block.
And Henry, I think there's no wrong answer here. So I agree with everything you said there. JFM's very important. Evan Engram, I think, if I was just focusing on the Broncos, I'd probably choose Evan Engram because I love the Broncos' depth at inside linebacker, at defensive line. The Broncos' defense really doesn't need any more help right now because they are so good. So I'd probably go Evan Engram. But looking at the Colts specifically, I'm gonna frame my answer based off the Joker and not Evan Engram, but Tyler Warren and what he brings to this Colts offense as a rookie, playing in his second game in the NFL. He's already that much of a threat. Give me Dre Greenlaw for this. Now, I unfortunately say that, and I think he has the least chance of playing in this game.
I think Franklin Myers has the chance to be out the longest, but he's still probably more likely to play this week than Greenlaw.
I agree. Think you're right. I think it's probably Evan Engram is the one who has the best chance of playing, and the other two I'm certainly not counting on for this game, unfortunately. But Tyler Warren, we'll talk about him in a second, Henry, but I want to wrap up this injury conversation by asking you, do the Broncos need any of these three guys to win the game? Like, if they're without all three of them, do you think that's the difference between them winning and losing, is having one of the three the difference between winning and losing? 2 of the 3? Do they need all 3? How important are these guys? Because we're talking about 3 starters.
Yeah. We'll start here. They could have all 3 and lose. They could not have all 3 and win.
Yeah, that's true.
It's the game of percentages. I picked the Broncos to win. Spoiler for later. I'm not super confident in that pick.
Yeah.
But it is where I landed. And there was a part of me that thought, hey, I've got a lead. I know the other 3 of you are all picking the Broncos. Wow. Is this one where I go against, add one more game that lead? And I decided, no. We're not doing that.
You're already like protecting your lead.
It's a big lead. But I don't think that not having any of those 3 flips my pick to the Colts, because I think so much of it's structure. Like, I think I like just kind of what the Broncos are about on defense right now.
Yeah.
And, Sean Payton always says, when other guys come in, we can't have drop-off. And it's one of those things you hear and you're like, okay, well, there's going to be some drop-off. But what we've seen from them is that there's very little drop-off when they've had to make replacements over going back to the start of last year even. So I think that the system on defense is good enough that you can withstand not having key players. And I think offensively, Evan Engram, I think, can be a huge piece of this offense. We didn't see it week 1. I don't know. I don't know if it comes week 2 if he does play, or if it's still a couple weeks away. So it doesn't change my pick.
Yeah, I think Evan Engram, and why he was such an exciting addition for the Broncos is, in my opinion, he's the guy to take the Broncos from a good passing attack, maybe a really good passing attack that we saw for the final 14 weeks of last year, to great, to scary, to dangerous, maybe even to an elite level. And so without him, you could still be good. I mean, we saw it for 14 weeks last year. Bo Nix was extremely good after a slow start in those first 4 weeks. So I'm right there with you. I think that this, just to put it in like betting perspective, in my opinion, the Broncos have all 3 of those guys. They're like a 3-point favorite, 3.5 point favorite, which like is like, yeah, they should win. You're not putting the mortgage on it, but you're like, they should win this game. They are solid favorites. Without these guys, if they're without all 3 of them, I think they're like a 1-point favorite in my mind, which is like, almost a toss-up. I'm giving the Broncos a little bit of a lean there. And right now the Broncos are -1 over at Bet365. I believe, unless it's -1.5. I think I looked this morning and it was -1.
Wow. Yeah, because this time yesterday it was 2. I looked last night, it was 1.5. And now it's down to 1 with even money on both sides.
Wow. So Vegas saying these guys are important.
And I'm saying if you're going to bet on the Broncos, don't do it right now. Do it on Sunday, because there is a trend of where the line is going.
It's a great point. Make sure you use that code DNVR365 when you do, and you can bet with bonus bets. So Henry, we're going to continue to follow this, but these are things that we're certainly paying attention to right now, because these are 3 key players. And I mentioned key players. Henry, I think the key to beating the Colts is stopping a rookie. Stopping a rookie, not a quarterback rookie, not a running back rookie, a tight end rookie. That's how good Tyler Warren is. And maybe it's because I had a little crush on him coming. I guess my body didn't want me to say I had a crush on him.
I guess not.
Maybe it's because I liked him coming out of the draft, and I just thought he was the be-all, end-all. But he is a true joker. Evan Ingram's a true joker. Tyler Warren might be even more of a truer joker.
Because he blocks.
Because he blocks, and then they use that. So he's not just lining up at tight end and blocking. They used him at fullback. They handed the ball off to him as a running back. He lines up everywhere. And last week, his NFL debut, he had 7 catches for 70 yards, 9 targets. Shane Steichen went into that game and said, "You are the guy that we are going to feature the most in the passing game." And that just shows how good he is. And so that's why I think he is the key. If the Broncos don't let him run all over him, catch all over him, block all over him, they'll win the game. But he's special, and the Broncos can't sleep on him.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how it all plays out, because I don't know who you put on him. I think there's a case we made that it should be Pat. I don't think I would go that way, just because you have 2 really big, good receivers on the boundaries. And so then you're putting Barron outside with Riley, and you just have a size mismatch on both sides. If you could limit that to 1, it makes it a lot easier. But I don't know what you do, because I don't think Dre Greenlaw even is big enough to handle that. Like, when you're talking about like a 6'4", 260-pound tight end.
Yeah.
Dre Greenlaw, I am in no position to say he's a small guy, but 6'2", 229. Like, there's just a different like. At some point, you throw the ball high, and he can jump up and catch it 6 inches higher than Dre can contest it.
Yeah.
So and that's kind of true of the Broncos' entire secondary, other than Pat. Like, I think Singleton might have like the length at least. Sternad has some of that, maybe some physicality there, but I struggle with it. I don't know what you do. And again, it's not. We won't be surprised if a tight end puts up big numbers on the Broncos, because for a decade, it's kind of been a trend. So it'll be interesting. To me, though, I think the key might just be running the football. I think that if you can just consistently move the chains, and I think that's the way you do it, this could be a nice, clean. I think there's a chance it's an easy win if you're able to run the football.
I love that.
If you're going out there and you run the ball first down, run the ball second down, and you get a first down out of those 2 plays, that's the kind of thing that you need just to keep an offense on the field, to score a lot of points, and kind of put a little pressure on the Colts to score. Because Daniel Jones under pressure is not the best. Last week he went up 17-zip quick, and there was no pressure. So I'll go run game. Run game's most important to me.
Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. Let's hear from Sean about all of this. Let's hear from Sean after I give a shout out to our friends over at, these are good friends, and they are over at Monarch Money, where this past August I got to the end of the month, and for the first time in a long time, I was like, oh my gosh, I know exactly where my money went, and my bank account looked a lot better than it had in previous months, and that's because of our friends over at Monarch Money. They helped me track my money, see where it was going. And the cool thing about Monarch Money is it not only can combine like your checking and your savings account, but it also can take your investments. It can take credit cards, multiple of them, and combine it all into one place so you know exactly where your money's going. It's named the best budgeting app of 2025 by Wall Street Journal. It's Forbes' best app for couples. And this is going to help your relationship a lot. Instead of going back and forth with one another, you're just like, well, let's just look at Monarch Money and see where our money is going. So if you want the help of financial opportunity, they are going to help you over at monarchmoney.com. Use the code DNVR to get 50% off your first year over at monarchmoney.com with code DNVR.
And also, got to shout out our friends over at Omaha Steaks. So Lexi goes up to Boulder for work, so she's usually gone before I'm even awake. Because like I'm awake at like 8:30 generally. Yep. Football season skews things. So this morning I woke up to a text. I put all the steaks in the fridge on my way out. You might want to go through them this morning and see if any should be frozen. I was like, oh, it's steak day.
Yes.
It's steaks. We got the pork chops. We got the chicken.
Yeah.
All sorts of good stuff. That's why we love Omaha Steaks, because you can get really high quality steaks, USDA certified tender steaks. Tough to get that certification. The burgers are juicy. They've got, we also got the Franks, which is it's how you know they're better than just hot dogs.
Yeah,
they're Franks. Yeah. All sorts of good stuff. Unrivaled quality, variety. Every bite back to their 100% guaranteed. Been in the family for 5 generations. Started as America's original butcher in 1917. You can get fired up for fall grilling with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during their Red Hot Sale event. For an extra $35 off, you can use the promo code Broncos at checkout. That's a lot of steaks.
That
$35.
is.
That's 50% off at omahasteaks.com and an extra $35 off with promo code Broncos at checkout. See site for details.
And shout out to our presenting sponsor, Bet365. If you want to get in on the action tonight or anytime this weekend, Buffs play tomorrow night, 5:30 ESPN against Houston. That's going to be a good game. You can get in on that. I believe Buffs are like a 3 or 4 point dog. I think maybe 5-point dog there. If you want to bet on them, you can use that code DNVR365. Okay, Henry, we mentioned this stat yesterday. It's a fun stat. Actually, it's a fun stat for the Colts. Who are like the baby brother of the Broncos, since they're a Colt. The Broncos are Broncos. Yeah. Yes. So I guess we can pat down on them. Yes. We can be like, it's a very cute stat. We'll say that. Cute stat for the Colts. They're the first team in like 40 years to score on every single one of their offensive possessions. Sean Payton was asked, like, is it easy to sell your team on the Colts being good? Or like, how impressive is that stat? And Sean had a little bit of a rebuttal to this. He doesn't really necessarily love this stat because he thinks he should maybe have this stat. Let's hear Sean talking about it.
It bothered when I saw it. I laughed a little. We played in Detroit once, and we had a punter who bought 40 tickets for his family, and we never punted. We didn't score on the last drive. We fumbled the ball, and we were up 40-some points. But it was like we wanted to, Then we had another game where we took a knee on downs, but we never punted. But they never punted and scored on 50 years or whatever. It's impressive.
I love that. So, Sean, got to have a conversation. I get that last one. You kneeled the ball to end the game. That one you probably should be in the conversation for like scoring in every possession. The one before that, I'm sorry, you have no argument. You said you fumbled. Yeah. That's not a score.
It is, unless the other team scored. Or you could score, but he would have brought up if they had scored off their own fumble.
Yes, he would have.
Yeah, I mean, It's one of those things that's cool but requires a lot of luck.
Yeah. It's true. Like typically you
there's a kneel
would
down.
end a game, with a kneel down.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that have to kind of break your way. So like you can play really, really good football, and that gives you the 20% chance, or probably even less, of being able to fulfill the stat, because either before halftime you had to kneel the ball down, or they scored with 4 seconds left and kicked it off, and you threw a Hail Mary that didn't score.
Yeah.
Or, then at the end of the game, other teams probably trying to score pretty fast. Generally, the team that wins finishes with the ball, not always. In this case, the Dolphins had moved the ball down to the Colts 30-yard line, and the clock just expired. So again, like I'd be curious to see how many teams have scored every single time, other than, losing on downs or kneeling out the clock at the end of the half or the end of the game.
Yep, you're 100% right. So I kind of like that confidence from Sean. It reminded me a little bit of last week when he was talking about the Texans, and then a 20-second clip, or the Titans, I'm sorry, and a 20-second clip, he reminded everyone that the Titans were a 3-win team last year 3 times in 20 seconds. It's a little bit like, no. We respect what they've done, but come on. It's Daniel Jones. It's the Colts. So
luckily they did beat those Titans. There was a moment there where
I know.
it didn't look so good.
And you know what? This weekend, people in the Twitter chat kind of going back and forth on if Broncos Country's underestimating the Colts. I don't think we're underestimating the Colts. I think the Colts are a good team.
They almost beat the Broncos last year.
Yeah, exactly. And somehow that ended up in an 18-point win.
Right.
But with 9 minutes left, it was the Colts had the ball and with a chance to take the lead right there.
Two score lead. Was that when the fumble was? Or was that earlier?
The fumble was earlier.
Okay.
Yep. That was when Daniel Jones. No,
that was the
Anthony
pick.
Richardson threw the. Was that the pick or was that the fumble?
Oh,
regardless, it looked like a pick six.
Right.
With the incredibly stupid play where they throw it to the wide receiver, he throws it back.
Yeah.
That was the Colts game last year. Henry, do you want to be bold and say Nick Bonito has a pick six or a fumble six this week as well?
I will be not bold and say he will not.
Okay.
I hope he proves me wrong.
And say he will not. That's very fair. That was also the game where you mentioned it. Jonathan Taylor was about to have to take a 2-score lead. Was it 17-3 is what the lead was going to extend to? But he dropped the ball in celebration half a yard before scoring. I mean, the Broncos got very lucky and then also made their own luck with the Nick Bonito just reading that play incredibly well against the Colts last year. But when we talk about the Colts, we talked about this yesterday. Henry, I think it's the easiest, most winnable game the Broncos have in their next 4 games.
Oh, okay.
And no,
I can get there.
Not the whole season. Because again, you got the Colts, the Chargers, the Bengals, and the Eagles. I think that the other 3 games are more difficult than this one. So I know you don't like must win, Henry. So I'm not going to bring the conversation there. But
I'm too math based.
This is exactly. And I understand what you're saying there. But this is a game the Broncos should win.
If you're taking the easiest path to the playoffs, this is one of the games that you win.
Yep, exactly.
I do wonder if Bengals at home might turn out to be the easier game. It's one of those things that I'm not willing to put my name on right now. But like, so last week we're sitting there during the watch along, and I was like, wait, this Broncos defense is awesome. And at that point, they were giving up 3.8 yards per play. It's like, I wonder who's given up less. The only team that's given up less than that is the Browns. With 3.3 yards per play to the Bengals.
Yeah,
and eventually the Broncos got all the way down. That was right before they had the back-to-back sacks, which skewed those numbers. But the fact the Bengals offense did that, and we all know what we think of the Bengals defense, we might look back in a month and say Colts game was tougher on paper than playing the Bengals at home.
And the crazy thing about it is the Bengals defensive coordinator last year is now the Colts defensive coordinator. We heard Baldy talk about that. It wasn't his fault, but the Bengals just had to make a move because their defense was like historically bad. But I'd rather face Daniel Jones than Joe Burrow. At least right now, how it's shaping up to be. So Henry, one of the things when it comes to this game, I think the running game is absolutely huge. We mentioned this yesterday. I don't want to see Tyler Bidet this game. I want to see a lot of RJ Harvey, a lot of J.K. Dobbins, especially to start the game, and then some easy passes for Bo. And I got to say, I don't think I've mentioned this yet. I think Sean did a great job of scheming up really good plays for Bo early in the game last week. Bo just forced him a little bit. We saw Marvin Mims didn't finish a route as he should have. We saw some things just not line up. I don't think the Broncos need to be aggressive, but just get Bo some easy passes. If anyone's going to be able to do that, it is Sean. Now, on the flip side of the ball, Henry, I think I would put Pat Surtain on Tyler Warren. Just have him follow him all game. Because
So then who goes on Pittman?
I don't think anyone follows Pittman.
Okay. But it'd just be Barron and so it'd probably be Barron and Riley against Pittman and Downs, or Pittman and Pierce. And then Downs is their slot guy, and that'd be Jaquan.
Yep.
I almost wonder if you bump Jaquan to the outside against Pittman.
Sure, you could do that.
But then you have the size. It's a tough matchup. I think of all the receiver rooms in the NFL, in terms of just number one, number two, the Colts probably have the biggest number one, number two receivers.
Like physically
Just
big.
physically biggest.
Yeah.
And I think that makes it really hard to
Yeah.
say Pat Surtain shouldn't be on the boundary.
Yeah, that's very fair.
Yeah.
And
But if you're more scared of Warren, then maybe you try it.
I don't think they will do that. I mean, they didn't really ever do that against Brock Bowers last year. They haven't really ever done that with Travis Kelce, where they like just put Pat on him all game long.
Seen moments.
So I wouldn't expect it to happen. But maybe that is a wrinkle they do some of the time,
Yeah.
which I can see there. And that's just what's so interesting about this Colts team is maybe you say Jonathan Taylor is elite. You could say in the past he's been elite. I don't know if you put that tag on him right now. Quentin Nelson, obviously, probably elite, not as elite as Quinn Miners. But outside of that, they don't really have elite, but you just look everywhere and it's like, oh, good player, good player,
Yep.
good player, good player. Like Michael Pittman, he's not elite. He's good.
But again, like if you were to look at the numbers, they're basically the same as Courts throughout his career.
Yeah.
And so you say
I wouldn't
like
say Court's elite though.
exactly. And so you're just like, well, if you like the Broncos receivers, you got that. You've got Pierce and Mims, who are your speed guys.
Yeah.
And Pierce has been more productive. Then you've got Downs and probably Troy is up next. Slot guys. Downs has been by far more productive. So you go across the board and it's like player for player, you could find the differences.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's what makes this Colts team tough.
Tyler
is it's
Warren
like-
versus Evan Engram.
Yeah, well, one's gonna play right now, and
True.
the other one might not play. And so it's just an interesting team to look at.
Yeah. Even like Taylor versus Dobbins. Like Taylor was winning first team All Big Ten while Dobbins was second team All Big Ten. I think, well, they did the two running backs at the time. So they did Taylor and Saquon were first team All Big Ten. Dobbins with a great season was second team All Big Ten until they were gone. So you just still have these gaps. And really on offense where you have the big gap, maybe you could point to like a spot or two on the offensive line. You probably could, but mostly at quarterback. Like you kind of need Bo being so much better than Daniel Jones that's where you say like this offense, the Broncos offense is better because that's the most important position.
As crazy as it is to say, Bo, go out and have the Daniel Jones game that he had last week. He threw for 270 yards, 75% completion, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. Now, he did run 2 in on the ground with his legs, but if he just 75%, I don't even need 275. Give me 225. 1 touchdown, no picks. The Broncos win this game. Most games in the NFL come down to turnovers, boil down to that. But as Sean Payton reminded the team yesterday, teams that won the turnover battle this past week were 8-1. The Broncos were the only team that lost the turnover battle and won the game. They can't do that again. I have full faith. Sean took even more accountability. He took accountability after the game. He took accountability on Monday. He took accountability yesterday for just putting Bo in the wrong spots, calling the wrong plays at the wrong time, trying to be aggressive when they shouldn't have been with the way the game was unfolding. I think Sean's going to be completely dialed in and ready for this game. And I think if the Broncos don't lose the turnover battle by 2 or more, they win this game. Now, you don't want to say, like, going into a game, okay, you can lose the turnover battle by 1, but I think if they lose by 1, the turnover battle by 1 or fewer, so tied or they win the turnover battle, they'll win this game. You don't like it?
I think I'd take the Colts. If you tell me they're winning the turnover battle by 1, I think I'm taking the Colts. Because I do think that there is a bit of a gap between these two teams. Again, we talked about the offense. Maybe the Colts offense is a little bit better than the Broncos right now. I don't even think that's a guarantee. The difference between the Broncos defense and the Colts defense is, to me, really, really big. And that's where the difference between these two teams comes in. when you factor in that they're on the road and the turnover differential, that's where I'd have to take the Colts.
Fair. I understand what you're saying there. Now, one more thing I want to get to before we make our picks. Do you want to see more Pat Bryant, Henry? Let's get to that answer after I give a shout out to our friends over at Taco Bell. You want delicious food? You got to turn to our friends over at Taco Bell. You want nostalgic food? You got to check out our friends over at Taco Bell. Right now, they have brought back their Y2K menu right now, which so many good things on this. The Cool Ranch Doritos Locos Taco, Caramel Apple Empanada, Chili Cheese Burrito, 7-layer burrito, and the Double Decker Taco. And all of those are $3 or less. I had the Double Decker Taco earlier this week. Absolutely amazing. Of course, we know that the Cool Ranch Doritos Locos Taco is fantastic, and Henry was in love with the Caramel Apple Empanada. And make sure to check them out. If you want to get a Buffs box for $7, it comes with so many items. You can do that as well. And the cool thing, Taco Bell is helping CU Athletics by giving them a $1,000 donation to the Golden Buffs Scholarship Fund for every touchdown. So live Moss at Taco Bell and get some great food.
And shout out to Toyota. We're here in the Toyota Lounge. You guys are in the Toyota chat telling me that I don't know ball. Trucks have always been a part of Toyota's DNA. So for generations, Toyota has built durable legends destined for greatness and perfect for Colorado. There's a lot of people who like to go off-roading here, going up the mountains, going up dirt roads, whatever it may be. Or if you're hauling, there's a Toyota truck that's just right for you, like the all-new 2024 Tacoma, a return of the iconic 2024 Land Cruiser. Toyota offers 17 models with available all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, like the Epic 4Runner. Also make more low and zero emission vehicles combined than any other automaker. 16 different hybrid vehicles to choose from. All sorts of great options. Something that's perfect for you. And if you want to check them out, you can visit your Front Range Toyota stores at the location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota and Boulder, Groove Toyota and Littleton, Mountain States Toyota and Denver, Stevenson Toyota East, Aurora, Stevenson Toyota West and Lakewood. Toyota, official automotive partner of the NFL, and also the official vehicle of DNVR. Let's go places.
Let's go places. Shout out to everyone that's tuning in with us. We appreciate it. Hit us with a thumbs up and drop your Broncos Colts score in the Toyota chat and below if you're tuning in later. Want to see what the vibe is on this game. And before we get to our predictions, Henry, Pat Bryant played in 4 snaps in week 1. It's crazy because he was great in preseason. He was great in training camp. So I asked Sean, was that intentional? Do you want him to do more in order to see the field? And here's what Sean had to say. Listen closely and tell me what you think he's truly saying with this answer.
Well, no, it's something. I just think in our groupings we can improve that. That was part of the, the day after, right away on my desk I have plays for all the players, the offensive linemen tell me how many plays there were offensively, at least graded, and then special teams, total pitch count, and so, we can improve that.
We can improve that. Do you think he will improve that? And when he says improve, like get him more snaps?
I think with no Evan Engram, he would get more snaps. But yeah, to give him snaps, you're taking snaps away from others. And when you're figuring out how to go about this, Cortland, he's getting the role that he always gets. I would guess he was right at 85% snaps again this week. Maybe I'm wrong, but we've seen Cortland long enough to kind of know what he does. Troy Franklin, Marvin Mims, those are the guys who you really want to see what they have. Those are the guys that you're banking on. Like that's why you decided you only needed to invest a 3rd-round pick in receivers, because you had so much faith in those guys. You would give them the opportunity to go do their thing. Trent Sherfield, he's your big blocker, reliable, trust him to be in the right spots, not make mistakes that are going to set the team back. Now, he didn't do that, and that could be where we see a little bit more of Pat Bryant.
Yeah.
In talking to some of these other receivers, though, Troy Franklin in particular, talked to him last week all about how tough it was last year because there's so much going on in Sean's offense. It's not running the routes. It's not knowing the plays. It's knowing I need to be exactly 3 steps in from the hash. This guy's going to be exactly 2 steps outside, because all of these little spacing things are so important against all these defenses, and he's only been in the offense for a few months. So I wouldn't be surprised if, like many other young receivers in this offense, it takes him a little bit of time to for the coaches to feel confident that he knows everything he needs to know to go be successful. At the same time, no Evan Engram. There's room for another weapon. You'll see less 2 tight end stuff because, the appeal of the 2 tight end stuff is that you're getting a defense in their base, the 3-4, the 4-3, and that means you get an awesome matchup for both of your tight ends. And you have one of the tight ends, Evan Engram, who can take advantage of that. That's your mismatch. That's what makes him a joker. It doesn't really work if you just have 2 tight ends who are not really threats to catch the ball. So it makes sense that they would do less 2 tight end stuff, more 3 wide out stuff. There's going to be more snaps for receivers. Those have to go somewhere. So I think between Engram being potentially out, Sherfield having a tough game, I think we do see a little bit more Pat, but I don't think it's going to be a groundbreaking amount.
Yeah, it's probably not going to be that. I hope it's 10, and I hope he gets 2 targets because I think he can be a difference maker, even as a rookie. So I would hope that that is the case. All right, Henry, you ready for your Broncos pick?
Yes.
Drop it into the Toyota chat, everyone else.
Yes.
And as Henry thinks about who he's picking to win this game, exactly, comments later, let's have our guy, Coach Todd Davis, fire us up. My favorite video of the week. We got it dialed up, you hear? Todd, fire us up.
I got it. Turn up, TD. Let's go get these guys turned up. But this feel great. This feel great right here, baby. Yeah. We got to cross the line. It's time to whoop their ass. It's time to whoop their ass. Let's bring it to these boys now. Let's go, y'all. It's on us. Let's go to one. Let's go to one. Broncos on 3. 1, 2, 3. Broncos.
I'm so fired up, baby.
Yes.
Coach Todd, he's going to be doing that to the inside linebackers and the defense this week. All right, Henry, you fired up enough to pick the Broncos?
Yep. I'll go 18-15 Broncos.
Ooh, ugly game.
I have a feeling it will be.
Okay, but you know what? In this game, no style points are needed in my mind.
Yep. Yeah, I think beginning of the season, it's all about just getting the win. End of the season, it's all about just getting the win. And it's that time in the middle where you'd really like to see things look pretty and clean and like they have a future.
Yeah.
Grind your way through this one, come back home 2-0.
18-15. Ryan's got a much prettier win for the Broncos, 24-10.
Super Bowl number.
Both of you are taking the under, though. The under, over-under, I believe, is 43.5. Is that right? Over at Bet365. So that's... you both are way on the under there. I'm going to go... Vegas is going to help me out here. No, they're not, actually. I was going to go 23-20. That's kind of what Vegas is saying the score is going to be. They're saying it's going to be 22-21.
Yep.
I just don't see the Colts scoring 20 points on this Broncos defense. So I'll go 23-17. I like that score. 23-17. The Broncos win this game. And I even hesitate giving them 17, but I mean, I guess the Titans got 12 on you on the road last week.
Right.
And you know what? After this, you'll still be averaging, 15 points per game given up. That's still elite. So I'll go Broncos 23-17. And I am confident that if the Broncos lose the turnover battle by 1 or fewer, they'll still win this game. Run the ball, Sean. Don't mess around. Start off with, a balanced rushing attack with the pass. I don't need to see 14 rushes to 3 passes, like the complete opposite of what you did last year. But let's keep it balanced to start, and let's just hope that the big men on the defensive side of the ball, at least some of them, are good right there. And then we'll get Benny's score as well, so make sure to stay tuned to DNVR Broncos. See if Benny is also picking the Broncos here. And Henry, after a big week, you get to pick first this week. You went 3-0 last week.
Yep.
You called the Chargers.
Henry should get to pick when he picks, first or second, or last.
So the thing is, at the end, I should pick first when I have like a 2-game lead going into week 18, so that you guys have the chance to pick the opposite, so I can't box you out. So we might as well just start now.
So you want to be picking...
Best record picks first.
Best record pick
Which
first.
is,
okay, I
of
like
course,
that.
me.
Which is, of course, you. You
Yep.
picked the Chiefs.
2-game lead after week 1.
Yeah, you picked the Chiefs to lose
Yep.
to the Chargers last week. You nailed that one. Boy, did the Chiefs look pedestrian there. You picked the Raiders to beat the Patriots. Ryan and I both picked the Patriots to win that game. And, of course, we all picked the Broncos. So that's Ryan and I's only win this past week was the Broncos. Shout out to the Broncos coming through for us, or else we would have had a miserable week. Same with everyone in the Twitter chat and everyone that rocks and rolls with us on this show. So, Henry, you get the first pick. We got 3 games in the AFC West this week, 2 not involving the Broncos. We got a Super Bowl rematch. Eagles playing the Chiefs at the same time the Broncos are playing the Colts on Sunday. That's a Super Bowl rematch. It is a shame. And I don't know how this one is not a primetime game. But then we get the Chargers playing the Raiders. This is prime time. This is the second Monday Night Football game. We got a double-decker Monday Night Football this coming weekend. That used to be week 1. They switched it to week 2. The Chargers going into the Raiders here. Let's start with this Chiefs-Eagles. Well, no, you're the winner. Which game do you want to start with?
Yeah, Chiefs-Eagles. This is Eagles to me. I think the Chiefs... There's a part of me that thinks that a good team isn't going to lose back-to-back games, particularly to start the year. I just think that the Eagles are better than the Chiefs. Like, they're just more talented. And if the Chiefs win, we know, everybody knows exactly what it will look like. It'll be a pretty close game all the way through. Mahomes will keep them alive. They'll rush for about 65 yards. They'll get a couple big runs, but none of them will be like efficient for the most part. But in the end, they'll pull it out. I just don't think that happens. I think there are too many worlds in which either the Eagles blow them out or the Chiefs just fall short at the end. To me, this has to be the Eagles.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And Henry, what I saw from the Chiefs last week was pedestrian.
Yes.
Everyone kind of looked pedestrian outside of that Mahomes throw where he was like, just level with the ground. But
you'll get a couple of those a game.
He didn't win the game for him.
Nope.
After that, I need to see the Eagles win this game in order for me to be like, oh wow, the Chiefs are done. Like their magical, incredible run is done. I'm not gonna say that's gonna happen. So I'm gonna go Chiefs in this one at home, being at home. I hope I'm wrong. I think this is the nail in the coffin for the Chiefs. Like in terms of like their AFC West run being over if they lose this game. So you hear unfortunately, I'm going with the Chiefs with this one. I want to see the Eagles win, but going Chiefs now. Second
a Chiefs
game,
fan.
Monday night. Don't you put that on me.
Yeah, that's what they did to me.
Chargers going into Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Both teams want to know. That means one of these teams will lose this game.
I want to go crazy here. So, I mean, Geno Smith, I believe, still leads the NFL in passing. Was he surpassed Monday? No.
Because he had like 374 or something.
362. Completed 70% of his passes. Those weapons are underrated. Chargers weapons. Nobody really rates the Chargers about anything. Nobody really cares about the Chargers. You know what? Give me the Raiders. I'll take them again.
All right.
I think this is a chance to get a game on you guys, obviously, but I get it. Justin Herbert had a good run at the end of the game. We all saw it. It was on national TV. The Raiders did not play perfect football last week, but I think Geno has a little bit of juice to him right now.
Geno has the juice. That's a bold strategy there, Cotton.
Fair.
Ryan is going with the Chargers. Man, he believes in the Chargers. I thought less than anyone in the world, but clearly he's believing in them. Unfortunately, the Chargers are the truth. The Raiders did that. I know it was on the road, but they did it to a Patriots team that, talk about pedestrian.
Yeah.
They're as pedestrian as can be.
Yeah.
They barely pulled out the win. I think the Raiders are a solid team. Pete Carroll's got them back to being solid. But I think, unfortunately, the Chargers are good. So give me the Chargers in this one. That means, Henry, you and I are going to have the same record at the end of next week.
Wow,
We're both going to be tied up for the top of this. Ryan,
Could be.
unfortunately, going to be a game behind us here. And then I'll be
You
picking
could be
first.
4 games back.
No.
Yeah, that would be pretty crazy.
We're going to be tied
Right.
at the top. Let us know in the Twitter chat who you're taking.
If you're a Broncos fan, you want Hank to be right more
True.
than you want Zach to be right.
Yeah, totally.
Probably.
I hope I'm wrong. You know what? I shouldn't say that we're going to be tied.
Yes.
I hope that we're
There we
not
go.
tied. I just think we will be tied. Man, Eagles put the Chiefs away.
Reminder that we have our pregame show. Super Bowl 50 champion Benny Fowler is going to be here as always. We'll be doing 30 minutes leading up to the game. We'll be live for the entire 3 hours of the game. So hang out with us. I know it gets kind of lonely watching at home.
Yeah.
Bring us to your living room,
Yes.
or wherever you may be, and then we'll wrap it all up with an hour post-game show. Again, Super Bowl 50 champion, Benny Fowler and all of that. Don't miss it.
Man, we got 5 or 6 hours of content for you on Sunday. Make sure to rock and roll with us on YouTube. Couple of super chats before we get out of here. We're going to go into overtime. Go to DNVR.com to round out the show with us and hear these final super chats. We appreciate everyone tuning in. Hit us with a thumbs up. We really appreciate Pure Lapine, who just became a member of the Supporters Club. Let's go, baby. We appreciate you.
It kind of looks like we got a new emoji during the show.
Oh.
Can we confirm that, or was this W here before?
W
Oh, really?
said
I just
before.
didn't see it before. Okay.
What's it look like?
I wasn't listening. The W, it's gold.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that.
I will say that Henry mentioned it at the beginning of the
He
show.
did. He did
that there's a
mention it at the
W
beginning
in
of the
there.
show. That is right.
Oh, this is a new W, actually. There are 2 Ws.
We're going to have to use that W a ton because we aren't going to be able to use it week 13 when the Broncos play the Commanders because the Commanders have a gold W.
Right. That's what they're all about.
Yeah.
The more supporters who join the club, though, we will be able to provide more emojis.
Yep.
So there's a lot more cool stuff. We're cooking up some ideas for the watch along Sunday.
Love that.
And if you guys have any ideas, throw them in the chat in the comments too.
I love that. And speaking of throwing stuff in the comments, we got our friend Cringe Brosby, who says 500 yards and 5 touchdowns, no interceptions this week. MVP Bo Nix, LFB.
Take that to Bet365.
Yes, absolutely. You will be very happy with yourself.
Very
if
wealthy.
When that comes true
Entire
right there.
young.
And speaking of LFBs, hit us with an LFB in the chat. That is one of the custom emojis you get with becoming a Supporters Club member. Cringe Brosby, we appreciate you, and let's hope you're right. 500 yards, 5 touchdowns. That sounds good. That sounds
does.
like a 50-10 win for the Broncos there.
Do you think Bo gets 500 yards and 5 touchdowns over the next 2 weeks?
You better.
250, 250, and 2 and 3?
The Chargers defense is
I know.
good. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That'll be popular.
Give it to me. Give it to me. That's going to do it for us this week. As Henry said, so much content coming your way on Sunday. I'm going to be joining the post-game show as well. Make sure to rock and roll with Benny, Ryan, and Henry. And you here all day Sunday. Tune in. What time? 1:15-ish?
Is
1:30?
game 205 or 225?
No idea. It's great. It's 2:05.
205. So 40 minutes
minutes.
before. Which would be
1:25.
125 until probably 7 o'clock.
Yep. I love it. Make sure to tune in with us. Have a terrific weekend, and we'll see you on Sunday.
We all silly like the mayor.